Good day, welcome to Endurance Room. So we're out doing a bit of camping tonight, and I thought I would show you guys a cool way to set up a rectangular tarp. It'll give you an enclosed shelter. All it takes is a couple of tent stakes and a stick. Check it out. The goal today was to go light, so I've got all of our sleeping gear and our shelter packed away in this little East German rucksack. I've done other videos on this bag, but if you haven't seen it before, this is the East German assault pack. It's about 20 liters. And it's just a bucket with a rubber bag. It's an awesome little day bag for hiking around. You can't beat it. You can find them for like $6, $10 in the surplus market.
So, it's a really cool camo too. What pattern is this?
I think it's the strict tarn camo pattern. So for our sleeping gear, in my pack, we've got a comfort item, little pillow, we've got a wool vest to add on as an extra layer. This is my shelter kit. I've got a ridge line in here and some tent stakes. I've got a hobo reel, a sushi stick. This is the green field bag out of the MMS sleep system. It's rated for like 30 or 40 degrees, but I had it out the other night. It was a little chilly in an open shelter. We've got a military space blanket. This would be our ground sheet. And I believe this is 8 by 10. It's just a camo tarp. It's got fluorescent orange on the inside. I put a couple tie downs on the corner grommets for building shelters with it. $10 shelter, super light, and I'm going to show you how to make an enclosed shelter with it. So we have something to sleep on, the military space blanket, but it's getting cold. It's not quite ready to frost yet, it's really close. Conductive heat loss from the ground is going to be an issue, so we need to build up a base layer, and to do that I'm just going to kick leaves into a pile, and that will help give us some insulation underneath the space blanket and some padding and comfort. Fall is the time to set up a bed like this. And the quickest way I've found for moving material is literally just turn your feet sideways and push it forward. You can start far back and really collect a lot of material. It's about 15 inches up off the ground. There's the browse bed. We're not opposed to using foam pads or anything of the sort, but we were trying to keep our gear as light and as minimal as possible today, just as an exercise. And the space blanket is a given. We have it with us pretty much every trip as a ground barrier. So now that we've got our bedding established, we can set up our shelter. So I'm using a piece of elm today, green wood. You can use a trekking pole for this. This is about 3.5 feet long, 4 feet long, and all I'm going to do is round off the top. So I've gone around and rounded the top end to protect my tarp. I've got some Gorilla Tape that is reinforcing where the post is going to sit. Get the browse bed laid out. The tarp is lengthwise. Do the back wall first. You want to make sure the line is tight. You want to kind of pull the front two corners in at an angle so you're setting up a triangular footprint. So I've got 3 sides of the shelter staked down. The back two pulled tight, the side here pulled tight, staked down. I've got this one loose. I'm going to place the pole. I drove it down into the ground about an inch. Then after your height is established, just pull this third side tight to where it meets the ground. now that both of those are pulled tight, we've got about 2 feet between the stakes for our door. And we got this action going on. To clean it up. There it is. There's room for both of us in there. The dog, our gear. You can roll this down, fold it over. If you want to fully enclose it, you just bring the stakes closer together. After you set it up a couple times and you know how to do it, it takes no time at all. If you use a trekking pole, that gives you a lot of variability because you can adjust the height. Is it sufficient? Let's just do a quick walk around into the shelter. It's a rectangular tarp, so this back wall is the longest. You're just folding a rectangle into a series of triangles. And then the excess material gets rolled up into the door. When you're ready to tighten it up, you just roll it down and you got an enclosed shelter. Which makes it quite warm. The tarp is light. It's, I don't know how many ounces it is, but it's lighter than a palaka, and it lets you fully enclose it with, you know, minimal time, minimal equipment. You don't need a ridge line for the shelter. If you're out on the trail, an 8x10 tarp and your trekking pole, you could have an enclosed shelter with a lot more options. You could do different shelter configurations depending on the weather. So if it's, you know, in the warmer months, a hotter season, you may not need this. This is relatively warm, but you could set this up in an A-frame, a lean-to, no problem. But if the weather really took a turn, the temperature dropped, you'd have, you know, an enclosed shelter option, which is pretty awesome. When I did the overnighter the other night with the 2 palakas doing the A-frame, it got cold. Like this time of year, it's kind of dangerous because during the day it's warm, you can be moving around and sweating in a t-shirt, but at night the temperatures drop, and if you still got your summer kit, you're gonna feel it.
The bed's nice and squishy.
The bed is sufficient.
Squishy.
It's squishy.
The bed is sufficient.
Well, there you have it, guys. This is a quick way to set up your tarp to make an enclosed shelter. You can widen this out and bring the peak up some more and open the door up to give you 3 sides, or you can fully enclose it, which is awesome. This time of year, it's warm during the day, it's colder at night, and having some variability with your equipment is key. So, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe to help support the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Cheers.